Hey everyone, great to connect with you again today. Sunday morning we gather for worship at 8:30 and 11. The 11 o'clock service will be streamed as usual. In addition, at 9:45 you're invited to Kids Connect, age-directed classes nursery through 6th grade, youth Sunday school, junior high and senior high, and adult discipleship with numerous options. This Sunday is the second Sunday of Advent, and I'll be preaching from Luke 7, where John the Baptist asks Jesus if he's the one they've been expecting. I call it, Jesus Comes to Disrupt Our Ideas of the Kingdom. We'll also be receiving Holy Communion this Sunday in both services. In a daily devotional I read earlier this week, the writer said that he is an intentional bivocational pastor who supports himself by being a substitute teacher in a local school system. He said he did this because he imagined himself in a scene from Dead Poets Society, changing lives with his lectures on To Kill a Mockingbird, inspiring young minds to discover their dreams and follow their hero into the noble life of substitute teaching. Instead, he said, most of his instruction boiled down to him saying something like, under no circumstances is it ever appropriate to use that word to describe anyone or anything. So you can understand his surprise when he heard something that grabbed his attention in a good way. In a class discussion about a short story, middle school students were describing the mood created by the author. One soft-spoken, shaggy-haired kid offered this assessment. The story is tense, scary, and dangerous all the way through. But even though you feel afraid, hope is always present. What an interesting description of Advent. A description of living in anticipation of the first coming of Jesus and living in anticipation of the second appearing of Jesus, perhaps even more. The season of Advent is not just about preparing once again for Jesus to come as a baby who is laid in a manger. It's every bit as much a time of preparing for Jesus to come as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, bringing judgment and justice, healing and redemption. And the waiting, the uncertainty, the unknown can all feel tense and scary and dangerous, particularly in this world in which we live. A world that can overwhelm us, frighten us, shake us. And we wonder if it will ever be any different. It's this wondering that makes Advent so important and so necessary. In Advent, engaging in the first and second comings of Jesus, we find that all the way through the tense, scary, dangerous world, hope is always present. Hope in the incarnate Christ crucified. Hope in the crucified Christ risen. Hope in the risen Christ ascended. Hope in the ascended Christ coming again to fulfill in his second coming what he initiated in the first. This is why, even though Advent is a time to acknowledge the darkness of waiting, it's also a time to remember the hope of Christ's light, that it's real and true and changes everything. Whatever you're facing today, whatever you're feeling about the state of the world today, whatever's causing you to feel anxiety and fear today, remember that no matter the darkness, Jesus is light. The eternal light that will never go out. As John writes in the prologue of his gospel, speaking of Jesus, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. This is our hope. This is our life, because this is Jesus. Father, thank you for what Jesus initiates in his first coming. Thank you for what he will complete in his second. No matter the pressure, the stress, the confusion, or the uncertainty, fill us with hope as you open our eyes to the eternal light of Jesus. And in his light, may we be light. Amen. Thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful day.